Hello and welcome back to Fortnite with Sephiroth VX. We're here a little late because I need to sleep, I guess. So we'll be here for about 2 hours total. I believe at 11:30 my time is about 9:20 right now. So we get about 2 hours. We're gonna get in here. We're gonna continue the Nindo challenges, which means I need to open the Nindo thing real quick before we head off. I did acquire 2 more XP, but I don't know if that is. I don't know if that was the 2 XP I already earned or the XP I earned yesterday and another one. I'll have to go in here and see if I earned more Nindo challenges than I already had. Um, so the first one came way late. Where's the? I received XP. 2 more badges. Congratulations. Okay. So on here, oh my goodness, we've moved forward on Itachi. Itachi, we are now on 3 badges. Gara, we have the XP. Okay, so this was the extra XP now, because we're on XP level at Gara and Orochimaru. I said his name the right way the first time off. So we'll continue on this today. That will be our focus since it's so late, and we'll continue on the other thing in another day because it's going to take a lot longer. We'll go ahead and just hop right in. There's nothing really new on Item Shop at all. I did use some of the battle stars to upgrade this, just got these 2 things out of the way, and we'll move on from there later. So let's go ahead and head in. If you're wondering about Wolverine's here because he's currently in the comic book. Where's my, what happened to my, oh there it is. I was like, what happened to my screen? My manager was hidden. So we're gonna chat some politics today, of course. I like to do that, and it's an important time in American history where we are fighting fascism for America's future, and it's an unsure future. And so our topic today is going to be once again Christio-fascism. Christio-fascism isn't a new concept. It's as old as the Christian religion itself. Religion in all forms is about control. It's about trying to dominate and restrict and imprison and control people. And it works off the promotion of hate, bigotry, and, well, technically in everything else that's terrible with people, religion is worked off of. And that it's not just Christian religion, but it right now domineers in America. This doesn't say all Christians are evil, because they aren't. A lot of them are just foolish, and a lot of them are just good, quiet people who want to live in that world where they believe in Christianity, and they don't belong to an evil sect. That's likewise, it's not to say all Christian cults are the same. Not all Christian sects are even the same. Lutherans are more quiet than, let's say, televangelists or Catholics when it comes to the religion. They're not exactly 100% great when it comes to the religion, but they're a lot more quiet and more accepting in my experience than some of them, though there is a lot of anti-gay Lutherans go around. So yeah, Christio-fascism, as well as all religious fascism, has existed forever. I don't know this. Okay, we're gonna head off to the edge. Where did I just go? Let's not go where it went. Just hit this island. I don't know what this island is. In fact, one of the earliest you could think of is Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great helped spread the Christian religion, and he used a mixture of fascist Christian religious practices and just domination, expansionism through military regimes and exercises to spread the original religion. He's where Christianity got its popularity from. Before his spread, it really didn't exist as much of anything. There's a tint on my chair. I don't think I'm gonna hit the chair. I kind of wanted to hit the chair. Should be able to vault, right? I did not mean to grab that. Yeah, I can read this fall. Well, hello. I wish I'd seen this earlier. Another great example of fascism is the Templars. The Templars were during a time when Christian expansionism had targeted the Middle East and other neighboring non-Christian countries. It went on a murder spree, natural genocide spree against non-Christian areas, especially targeting Islamic and ancient Jewish cultures. They went from villages to villages, denouncing Christian and killing those that weren't Christians, which is ironic because the current atheistic Satanist culture actually comes from the Templar worship, because the Templars were one of the first ones to practice the idea of worshiping the deity known as Baphomet under a sort of anti-Christian or sideways religion of some sorts, leaving an old pagan magics towards the end of their life, which was said to have added to their extinction. The Templars would later be killed by the Christian Church, and it's said that two of the reasons they were killed off, one was they had become too powerful, and during the later years, and actually that. Two was that they worship non-Judeo-Christian ways, which is the whole point of the Templars Wars in the first place. Oh, by the way, if you didn't notice, the seat of it, the chair from over by what used to be at the end of Polar Peak at the end of Chapter 1, but it was there forever. It wasn't always a chair, though. Sometimes it changed into like a sled and other things toward the end of its life. And parts of the shark from Chapter 2. So those two may be just from the Chapter 1 map. Maybe this one bled over to this new area. This one, I don't know. This one had to have been brought over from the other side. We'll take... take that. No. Or you know what? We'll take... How much is this? We'll take these for now. So Christofascism has been an issue forever, but in America, it is actually a more modern issue than it was. It's always used as an excuse to rule or dominate people, the authority of people don't like. It was Christofascism that marched against women's rights to do what they wanted to. Women belonged in the kitchen, they belonged making babies, and it's all they belonged to. And it was actual Christian religions and churches that made a domineering effort to keep them that way. They were some of the leading anti-women rights movements. And it was fascism that moved against race rights. Again, the racists used the religion to say these people are the same as us, and they don't deserve the same God-given rights, and they shouldn't have them because they're a different race. And what the frick? I never noticed this. This is cool. Pretty. And that is where we kind of stand coming into the modern era. Now, some Christians, of course, did march for our rights. There were good Christians in the anti-war movements, good Christians in the race movements, good Christians in every good movement. But the fact is, they worked against the majority of their religion. Their cults were not in their favor. Most preachers and priests that worked in these areas of anti-racism, pro-LGBT, and so on, they were cast out as pariahs. For example, there's this school. There was this school, this Catholic school, just recently, just a couple of days ago, a week ago, that refused to. I am not taking that gun. I hate that gun. That refused to take out its pride in BLM colors, because the school believed Black Lives Matters. They believed in the pride, and the students were there for that. The school was a Catholic school, but now the Catholic Theoches, the Archbishop of the area, said that they had to take out those colors, or had to disenfranchise them from the Catholic religion. They were no longer allowed to be known as a Catholic school because they refused to be homophobic and they refused to be racist. That's it. And so Christofascism being used to be racist and being homophobic still exists, of course. Homophobic, definitely. And racism, you think that's over with? You think that religion would have learned its place, that that's not exactly a popular concept? But here it is. Still doing it. I might be able to leap into the tree's winds with that mushroom in a minute. Let's just hide, since we're just trying to do the friggin' Nindo challenges. I know it's not the prettiest. Let's find something prettier. Oh, this is actually pretty clear. It kind of matches the color of the area. Forget how fun it is to play with the tags in this game. Spray paint's possibly one of my favorite things to do in this game that has to do with emotes. I almost never use emoticons. But back to what we're talking about. So Christofascism hasn't just raised its ugly head lately. It is trying to regain control, full control of America. This was allowed when the Swampanazi president known as Trump. Nope, I guess not. Place in several of his own people into take it. Anyway, Trump placed in several of his own pro-fascist people into the Supreme Court. He stuffed the Supreme Court that was already quite full. Now, he did lose one Supreme Court member, so he had a right to place in one Supreme Court member to replace her. But he stuffed the Supreme Court with 3. Bullrush, Amy Coney Barrett, and Brett Kavanaugh. And they were all terrible people. It was found out that Brett Kavanaugh had raped women before he had become the Supreme Court Justice. He did it back in college, and that should have just disqualified him right off. He got away with raping women and was never criminally charged because he's a corrupt little white boy. But it was true. And before you say I'm racist, remember that I'm a white boy. I'm about as white as they come. If you were to come down to my town and look at me, you would think I would be a Trump supporter. this. Excuse me? See what mayhem I can do with that. I love this just for the heck of it. Where did my folder go? They turn on their kind so easily. So yeah. So recently, of course, we've been talking about what's really going on this season with Fascism for the past few days. So it's obvious, but we'll just return to that. So a while ago, during Obama's era, we started getting this anti-trans movement. The anti-trans movement was a small one, but it was significant, and it was this fear-mongering that trans people were going to rape their babies in the restroom. That was it. That was their thread. Trans people are a danger in the restroom. These people who seek to be themselves are going to sexually assault everybody they see who are going pee. Which, in irony, because most sexual assault people are actually Christians. People who commit them are mostly, in most cases here in America, in the majority of all cases, are Christian people. Again, that's not saying all Christians are bad like that, but that's just pointing out that most of the bad people like that are indeed the religion that is pretending. He's not for that. Yeah, I don't have a lot of bullets, so we'll take that. But also, what was that noise? There's a flare gun. Doesn't know where I am because it's too early. What's my pupper doing? So yeah, they went on from that, and then we had Trump, and Trump was like the worst president ever. He's a full-on fascist. He is not exactly what I call a Christian fascist, except for the fact that he uses, like most Christian fascists, he doesn't believe in the religion, more so than he uses the religion for his own goals. That includes priests. There's plenty of priests who believe very little in religion, but use such religion for their own goals. So we went on, and the bathroom bill debate lasted for a while. I actually wrote a story on it called "The Victims of Freedom." I should have got my SMG out. I don't know why I tried to do that with that. Actually, Vader's cape's physics look really good. Okay. Well, I definitely ended in the top 5 there. But they ended up with that for a while, and then we got Trump, and Trump pushed it even further. He knew that the only people that supported Trump were the extremists. And from there on, the extremists that were already pretty much in control of the conservative, well, the conservatives are the extremists, which are the conservatives, which were pretty much in all control of the Republican Party, started gaining more control of the Republican Party. They started to erase the Republican Party. This Republican Party eraser kind of started in the Reagan era. Reagan was a softcore conservative. He wasn't much of a Republican, but he wasn't as hardcore as the people are out today. And as time's gone on, through the Bush era, through the Clinton era, then we see more and more extremist conservatives. Now, Bush is a conservative, but he was also an idiot, so I'm not going to say he was probably the most evil conservative ever. But he did have Dick Cheney, who is one of these fascist evil conservatives. Dick Cheney is pretty much the mastermind behind the illegal Iraq War, behind probably something to do with 9/11 happening. These are the bad people. Conservatives are, of course, the extremists. The conservatives were part of the Democrat Party when they were the Confederates. The conservatives are the racists, the anti-black movement, the KKK, the anti-gay movement. They're all conservatives. All conservatives are evil. There is no such thing as a good conservative, because conservatism isn't exactly a party. It's ideal. It's anti-progressivism. It's the idea that we should go back to what America was. They want to have racial separation. They want to have anti-homosexuality and anti-transgender, anti-LGBTQ, all of it. They want to just go put us back in the closet. They want to remove the Obama-era gay marriage clause. They want to remove the 2003 anti-sodomy laws removal that started here in Texas. They want to remove all those, or they want to put the anti-sodomy laws back in, I guess you could say. They want to make homosexuality illegal. And if you legalize homosexuality, that pretty much legalizes transgenderism too, because they don't accept transgenders as their chosen gender. So they would be considered homosexual relationships if they end up in straight relationships. At the same time, they probably want to strengthen the anti-sodomy laws, because that just stops gays from having sex, and they probably want to just stop us from existing in total. But so we go on from there, from the transgender restroom, and we have Trump, and we get distracted for a while because we have Trump. He's terrible. He starts to push more and more terrible people into the Conservative Party. He brings his family and puts them in not quite legal political states. Of they get some kind of power they're not technically supposed to have, but nobody questions it. Includes his daughter, her husband, his 2 children. All the Trumps are there, and they're all doing terrible things. And then we lose Justice, and her replacement comes up. Now, in all fairness, they're like, well, y'all didn't let Obama put in a replacement for another one. Why should we allow you? As it comes towards the end of Trump's term, but Trump replies with this, along with his majority group over there before they lose the majority, by stuffing in 3. Not only do they put 1 in to replace the missing justice, they stuff in 2 more. They completely stuff the political party. To add to that, we already had a known fascist conservative, Clarence Thomas. We just weren't quite aware how terrible he was, and how ironically terrible he was. So it goes on, and Trump loses his second term, and they throw an absolute fit. And by throwing an absolute fit, I mean they attack the Capitol. Conservatives raid the Capitol. The KKK, they're Proud Boys. They want to say Antifa there. Antifa wasn't there. There was one member of a progressive who was there, and they're not even sure whether he's progressive or just anarchist. And as far as I can tell, he was there taking pictures, and recording events, not jerking off behind senators' desks and stealing equipment and torturing cops and eventually killing a cop like the conservatives were. So they raid the White House. No, not the White House. They raid the Capitol. And they break things, they hurt cops, they kill a cop. And they're completely infuriated that their little swamp Nazi didn't make a second term because everybody was mad at him. Everybody who's an American was mad at him. And then this becomes their goal. The conservatives now own the Republican Party. There are no real Republicans left. Even if you point to Liz Cheney, she's technically a conservative. She just doesn't lick his backside as much as the other ones do. Or she's just playing the good person to try and stay on the ballot. Or if we expose how terrible the rest of them are and get them all removed. It could also be her boy, but she's not a good person. And any actual Republicans are usually independent. What are you complaining about? What? I am right here. I said good morning to you already. You can come up on bed, but you don't need to yell at me. You heard me? Yeah. Loud boy. So they go on. Or you distracted me, Chi. Look what you did. Honestly, my brain just went dead. So we go into Biden's term, and the conservatives' ideas now are to punish America for not electing its fascist president. Believe me, if they still have his plans, if he was reelected with a domineering fascist Republican Party now, and if they had gotten Trump in, it'd be worse. But the fact is, they still held enough power to damage us. Or I should say, to stop any kind of progressive or good movements. For example, we just had votes, and the first vote was to limit or stop price gouging at the gas pumps that the evil oil corporations are doing. Every single Republican voted against it, and that includes Liz Cheney. None of them wanted to do anything to do with limiting price gouging at the pumps because they're wholly corrupt. They want to please their oil masters, and they wanted to keep the prices high so they could blame Biden, even though prices are high worldwide, because price gouging isn't just happening in America. A reminder that I have inside information in oil companies from several sources, some of them from Lilia, and they indicate that the current gas price is about $2.4, should be about $2.4 in the place where I live, and it is currently reaching almost $5. So they are price gouging at least 100%, or double, or more. And we tried to stop that. We tried to fix it. And the Republicans said, no, we don't want to fix that. And then they're not taking any of the credit for not fixing it. They want to give all the credit of not fixing it to people who tried to fix it. And then we had other votes when the monopoly that had taken over baby food failed because of a recall. And only one freaking company made baby food, and the recall put that company down for a while. We tried to open up ways to get more baby food in and help the industry, or help the mothers. And the Republicans voted it down again. Why? There was no good reason why, other than the fact that they wanted low baby food because they could blame. Yeah, I was trying to get her to go down there. Why is she dancing? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, crap. There we go. So it comes back around, and then we get this issue with trans people in sports. Trans people are trying to be in sports in their gender. So trans women in women's sports, trans men in men's sports. The anti-trans people are argumentative over the fact that this gives them some unfair advantage. Their ideas that trans women always win because they were originally men is actually disproven several times, like a lot. In a good amount of cases, trans women lose to train women in sports. And in fact, the idea that they have some kind of testosterone based unfair advantage is false, because their testosterone has been blocked and their so-called manly strength is blocked. And the foolishness of this idea is actually even further exposed when the fascist transphobes or transmesiacs start posting pictures of people they claim are trans men winning, and they're actually just women who just happen to look a little manly because of training for sports. The exercise and everything makes you look a little manly. Oh, there's another one of these, by the way. Oh my god, this is still a logging company. Oh my god, they're fireworks. I don't know if that was a person or a bot I was fighting, but that was really weird. So we go on to Biden, I should say. We're starting there, and they do the whole trans sports thing, and then they get some big names behind their anti-transgenderism, namely J.K. Rowling and a few other stars just come out as hateful people, and they hide this hatefulness behind women's rights because they're thinking, well, the LGBTQ like, rights, and they like women's rights, and if we can portray hate as pro-rights, sure, they'll like it. And then in Britain starts this new group called the LGB Alliance. Notice they leave out the T. This is specifically a hate group made by conservatives, most of them not gay, to disparage transgenders as not part of the Pride group. Which any real part of the Pride member groups will tell you the LGB are not part of the Pride group if you leave out the T. I like the fireworks, by the way. She got me. It's been a while to go with legendary weapon, holy cow. And they successfully push against people and transgenders in sports in several areas. Local judges ban them in Florida, which is a fully fascist state, in Texas, and London, which is run by Boris, which is like a Trump clone, starts marching against them. And they start pushing this extremism, and this extremism is kind of a test to see where they can go with it. As they start to push transgenders out of sports, they start to push towards more of restricting transgenderism in whole. They start pushing this idea that transgenderism is a danger to people, again, a danger to children. Not just a danger to children, as transgenders are going to do something in the bathroom like they used to push before, but that people who allow kids to be transgender are harming children. This plays into DeSantis and Greg Abbott's evil little cultism, and they start to push anti-transgender childrenism. The idea that transgender children are abused children. The idea that happy transgender families are a danger to children. Greg DeSantis, that's not his name. DeSantis takes this and pushes several ideas. He pushes the Don't Say the Gay bill. Don't Say the Gay bill says that if an LGBTQ kid comes out to a teacher or other adult that is part of an official, like even a doctor, even a psychiatrist who's supposed to have doctor-patient privilege and not tell everybody their stuff, that they have to oust them to the parents. Now, this supposedly has a clause where if the parents are now in danger, you don't have to do it. But the fact is, they won't know the parents are in known danger until they oust them, and then those parents murder their children or kick them out to the street. So DeSantis specifically makes it a danger for gay and trans children to exist, because if they don't feel comfortable coming out to their families and they need to talk to an adult about it, and they do, that directly endangers their livelihood. Why? Because DeSantis is a hateful little shit. And I'm not going to be kind about this anymore. These people are just pure evil, and I'm done babying them. I've always been like, well, maybe we can work around with them. And a lot of us have been like, can we meet in the middle somewhere? Can you stop being such dicks? And they can't. They don't want to meet in the middle. They don't want to stop being evil. They want full domination control. They are terrible people, and it's time to call them out for being terrible people. This pushes Greg Abbott into action as DeSantis starts to craft something else. DeSantis makes the Ban the Gay book. Now, the Ban the Gay book didn't start with him. It started in some other southern state where, actually it may have been here in Texas, where locals started banning gay books because supposedly books that were gay were all pornographic because they had homosexuality in them at some point, and that kids shouldn't read them no matter the age of those kids. So they're pulled from all schools and from some public libraries. And then they were pulled from the school, and I'm pretty sure that was here in Texas. And then DeSantis caught on to this and was like, and it spread throughout the nation. Just Florida, Georgia, Washington State had fascist, anti-gay, and anti-trans people pulling books that had anything to do with homosexuality or transgenderism from schools. This didn't just mean entertainment books where the character was homosexual or where the character was transgender. This also meant educational books about homosexuality and transgenderism that would help maybe high schoolers understand more about themselves. So when I was in high school in Texas, homosexuality was still illegal. It was illegal till my graduating year. We didn't get to learn about it in Texas. Hell, we barely learned about the straight version of sexuality and reproduction. And I think we only learned so much about it because some of our teachers were actually really good progressives and weren't exactly the white racist Christians that everybody wanted teachers to be, which was a good combo, or a good thing. So they take all these books away, and Greg Abbott moves on to banning transgender children. He does this by doing basically what is an executive governor command. It's like executive order, but by governor, and he makes it to where children, people under 18 who are transgender, no matter the age, anyone under 18 who are labeled as transgender or seen as transgender or taking any kind of transgender therapy or taking any transgender counseling or allowed to be identified as transgender by their parents are listed as abused children. And then he weaponizes the Department of Family Services, the department that runs Child Protective Services, to attack these families for having happy transgender children. He goes after them. And the first family he goes after is actually one that has a 16-year-old that actually talked to Dan Patrick before, the lieutenant governor, who's just as evil as the rest of them, about accepting transgenders as people. And it was Dan Patrick that ousted these people to Greg Abbott so that he could attack them first. He targeted them and said, DFVS, CPS, go after these people. This kid, 16 or 17, he's almost a freaking adult. And yet they're going to attack him. Because this hate breed culture of Christiofascism doesn't care about the children, doesn't care about your rights, it doesn't care about the fetuses they save in abortion. They care about control. They're anti-abortion because they're anti-women. They're anti-transgender because transgenderism equals an amount of freedom they aren't comfortable with. They don't want you to be free. They want you to be controlled. They want you to be docile. They want you to be a certain way. They want a domineering, white supremacist, Christiofascist, straight turf nation. And that's where they want to take America. Let me check on the Nindo challenges real quick. Okay, nothing new there. Nothing new popped up. So we come to the Supreme Court rulings most recently. I don't like this manager minimizes every time I go out. A little over a week ago now, we had. Can I help you? Okay, so what are you doing down there? I hear you purring, but you're jerking like you're gonna do the cat puke on me, and you better not do the cat puke on me. Because I don't like that. Ow. Put me right next to the speakers, my ears. Everybody's ears who's listening. I like this outfit. Hawaiian, how go the beach? Go beach. So we come to these court decisions, but first you must know what happens. Around the beginning of Pride Month in Uvalde, Texas, we have something that has nothing to do with Pride. It has everything to do with Christian fascism, or fascism and conservatism. We have, after years of mass murders, crafted. That's loud. Darth Vader, drown your ship's noise. After years of mass murders crafted by the gun industry that pays large sums into conservative pockets so that no matter how many people their guns kill, they get to continue to sell their weapons of mass murder, we have a kid on his 18th birthday buy two weapons. Now, he's not someone who's known to be mentally unstable. He's not someone who's known to be a criminal. He's not an announced terrorist. He's just a kid, turned 18, and bought two weapons. And then a couple of days later, he and his grandma drive into Uvalde. He shoots his grandma, walks out of the truck, wherever they were in. Or actually crashes his truck. Supposedly the cops had to shoot out with him, but there's some disparity that seems like that maybe they didn't do that. Walks into a school pretty much undeterred by the cops who were supposed to already be there. Starts slowly shooting up two classrooms. The police don't do anything about it. They actually enter the building fully equipped for taking on an armed suspect and sit there and do nothing. So he walks into a classroom. He shoots 19 11-year-olds, or approximately 11-year-olds. Some of them will give or take some age. These were kids. Most of them were graduating in graduation parties and other similar parties, getting ready to go to middle school. He shoots them all. Kills all of them. Kills an entire classroom. Like an entire classroom. The entire classroom. Not one kid survived. Teacher survived because he's too big to kill as easily, and he moved on. But none of the kids survived. All of his kids, every single 11-year-old in his classroom, dead. In fact, at least two of them were shot in the head, and they were shot so badly by that weapon of mass murder that their heads turned into shrapnel. That the pediatrician that came to try and identify bodies said they were unidentifiable because they no longer had heads. The official word is decapitation. The decapitation gives you the idea that their necks were separated. It's something like Game of Thrones. No. The heads were turned to bits by an assault rifle known as from the weapon manufacturer Daniel Defense. And that's just the truth of it. There's no way around that. So that happens, and of course we come back to weapon safety, gun laws that are a little too loose in America, the gun laws that allowed a mass shooting at a country concert, gun laws that allowed a pile of dead kindergartners in Sandy Hooks, just gun laws that don't exist pretty much, just a full unregulated gun industry where the only regulation is they can't own rocket launchers. That's pretty much it. That's the only regulation. But they can't own a gun that will kill as many people. Oh, I get that back. I'm here to continue our Nindo challenges for a while. Oh, we only have 28 seconds. We should probably start moving in. We're pretty far away. So that happens, and of course we are like, well, it's because we don't have any regulation when it comes to guns. And the writer like, don't regulate your guns, bro. They're more important than kid deaths. And they make their excuses. Ted Cruz says, oh, there wasn't only one door entrance. Even though the one door entrance is a phallus idea, because it's never stopped mass shootings before in schools that have it. There's a reservation school that had a mass shooting a couple decades ago, and the reservation school had one door policy. It had security, and it had a metal detector. And guess what? Someone still walked in and shot a bunch of people. Security, none of that stopped them, because that's not going to stop them. The only thing that did was add a security guard to the list. So, in response to all this, we get this limp dick, supposedly bipartisan bill that actually would not have stopped it because it now semi-regulates criminals, but refuses to regulate terrorists. And even then, this kid wasn't a criminal, he wasn't mentally unstable, he wasn't a terrorist, so it wouldn't have actually stopped Uvalde. It wouldn't have stopped the reservation shooting, it wouldn't have stopped Sandy Hook, and it would not have stopped Columbine. None of those would have been stopped by this bill. This bill actually does nothing. It may have stopped the Orlando nightclub shooting, and that is a very big may. That's it. Let's see if I can do this from here. Oh, there's nothing. But in response to this bill almost being passed, what does the Supreme Court currently fully fascist control do? Well, they pass a bill saying that gun laws shouldn't be a states' right issue. Gun laws should be a nationwide right. They said so. What they're saying is, gun owners have more rights to own guns, but the states themselves cannot choose who can and cannot own guns and what state and what rights belong to who. So that means that all gun rights need to be nationwide control, and that nationwide gun rights control is based on Texas's non-existence gun control measures that were expired under Craig Abbott. This takes several states with low gun deaths, such as New York, compared to some of the more conservative pro-gun states, and basically just gets rid of their any and all safety programs they had going. Makes them susceptible to even more gun deaths, so that they can match their conservative brothers with the high gun death rates, like Texas. Texas is actually mid-range when it comes to it, but they're a lot higher than New York. Just got that 7. What's up, freak? Destroy a car. So just after they announced that gun rights is a nationwide right and shouldn't be controlled by state rights, they turn their eyes on Roe versus Wade. It now becomes completely clear that they don't care about rights or the people, that they're just here to push fascist conservative ideals. That's exactly why oh, darn, they got me good. Oh, it's a purple hammer, that's why. No, he stole my wolf. Traitor. That's exactly why they were pushed in there by Trump, was to overthrow the people's will, the actual people's will, the actual American ideals. So they go to this Roe versus Wade. It's a 50-year-old Supreme Court decision that gives women the right to limited abortion with protections from the law. Now, the conservatives have played Roe versus Wade as murder for years, even though the majority of abortions are from when the fetus is this tiny collection of cells, not a human being, not anything with a brain, not anything with bones, mostly just a collection of cells. The majority of abortions, say 90%, are that old. But they do have a heartbeat, because that's what first starts to develop in a fetus, pretty much, when it starts to develop, because it needs to pump that blood. And their mythological idea is once it has a heartbeat, it's going to have this soul. Soul doesn't exist, but that it becomes this human being once it has a heartbeat. And in fact, before this, the Christo-fascist Greg Abbott passed laws with his people here in Texas called the Heartbeat Bill, which made it to where, after a few weeks of pregnancy, even though it's not technically any form of baby, once it has a heartbeat, it cannot be aborted. This almost eliminated all abortion, even though Roe versus Wade kinda should have overthrown that. So they come to this, and they're like, well, it's an old thing, and we're not sure we quite approve of it. So those three fascists put in there by Trump, one more who's been there for a while, known as Clarence Thomas, and two more overthrow Roe versus Wade. And then, the same day, less than 24 hours after they overthrow Roe versus Wade, Clarence Thomas says, we need to review everything else. And he specifically mentions the homosexual bills. Two of them. The 2016-2015 marriage equality, and the 2003 removal of or the legalization of anti-sodomy laws that legalize homosexuality. He wants to fully legalize homosexuality. He doesn't seem to mention that one of the Supreme Court decisions that should be overturned under his variant laws should be the rights of blacks to marry white ladies. Because that is one of the Supreme Court decisions. It was made a while ago. The Supreme Court decided that racism was terrible and that white people and black people should be able to marry. But he seems to forego this since he's married to Ginny Thomas. Now, prior to this decision of his, it was revealed that he and Ginny Thomas were instrumental in attempts to turn over the government after their Swampanacy lost the election. Ginny Thomas was contacting officials and relaying information to Thomas and back and forth, Clarence, and they were both instrumental in attempting to overthrow democracy wholly. So that should illegitimize his votes and his Supreme Court justice standing. To further go with that, him during his induction, and Kabahan Korush and Amy Coney Barrett all said that they believed that Roe versus Wade was law and it wasn't going to be overturned by them. Thus, they said this at court under oath. Thus, they all committed perjury. This invalidates their stance as a Supreme Court justice. In a fair and legal U.S. court system, they would be directly charged with perjury, and they would be removed from the Supreme Court, leaving four justices, I think, and a fair, balanced Justice Supreme Court like it's supposed to be. What happens is an equal number of conservatives and Democrats. And let's go up here. I don't know what this is. That looks interesting. Oh, we do have a new area, by the way. Find it in a minute. It's the Butter Barn area. There it is. It's down here. We'll go do it next time. Ooh, that's what that is. That is a landing pad. That is not where I want to go then. Where am I? Let's go to the Butter Barn. Oh, now we're too far down the Butter Barn. So the Butter Barn tree has bloomed and it's become a unstable area of reality, just like over here in Logjam. I don't know if that destroys the Butter Barn or just changes its looks. What's going on? I don't even know if Butterbutt's still there. Oh my god, you can get the Ripsaw launcher from chests. I didn't even know that. So this is a bit ways. That's if I could like get a car. So here's how November is going to go. We've already seen them, what they're doing, what they want to do. We know their plans. That was a pretty fast build there. Why can't I climb up there? What the fuck is that noise? Oh. Oh, we were having fun. You had to ruin it. He ruined it. So the choices in November is, do we want a fascist-run country? Or do we want America as it's supposed to be? If in November the conservatives rule the parties, having a progressive or even Democrat president will matter. Because right now what they can do with the Supreme Court as it is, and with them being able to stop Democrats in the tracks in the executive branches, that's damaging. But if they control all the executive branches, or if they continue as they are right now, it'll just be further damaging. We're going to see us regress back to the 2000s, and then to the 90s, the 80s, the 60s, the 40s. We're going to just see complete regression of rights and liberties for a dominance controlled Christian religion. I've always said it was coming this way. I've always said, since I've become more politically aware in high school, that the conservatives have always pushed to make us the Christian version of Saudi Arabia, where there's a bunch of rich oil mongers, rich dominating people, just dominating over their people by religious rule and religious law. Let's see if the Nindo challenges have changed at all. We got one more badge. I'm not sure what though. That. That. Another Machu. Well, we're only 3 away from the end of our Machu. That's good then. We have I don't know if I'm going to 11 or 11:30. I'll decide when I get there. So, you know, we may be towards the last 2-3 matches here, either way. So we're going to come off political here and talk about stuff here. I'm kind of confused in Obi-Wan. The good ending, by the way, if you haven't seen it. I'm not going to spoil that. But when it comes to Darth Vader, I am hearing 2 different things. Some people are saying it's an AI program doing Vader's voice, and that James Earl Jones has no relative, like, he's not part of the show because he's old. He's in his 80s, 90s, and when he was doing things like Rogue One and Clone Wars, no, I'm sorry, Rebels, he's up in his age. He gets tired when he's doing it easily, so I understand he's old. So people are saying it's just a purely AI program handling Christian Hayden's voice and turning it into James Earl Jones himself. It's impressive. But then some are saying it's taking James Earl Jones, who's actually acting, and just improving his voice back to a better quality since he's kind of getting old and tired. You can tell that some of his voice acting in Rebels is a little slower than he used to be. And I understand. He's up there. He's lived a nice long life. So I didn't know if any of y'all knew what the truth was, because I need to go back and watch the final credits. I know in the original credits, in the first time they show his voice, it's listed as a technology that helped create his voice. They're like, thank you, something technology for Vader voice something. If it is just an AI over Hayden's voice, holy cow, I couldn't tell. But I'm assuming if James Earl Jones came back and then they used the technology to fix his voice, then that they would at least list James Earl Jones in the credits. Cape wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Got loud in the 7 area. The way he holds this tool, by the way, is perfect for him. You have enough Kylo Ren, and you have this from the last True Pack. I really recommend putting them together because it technically looks like his lightsaber. Oh, so there is something else to talk about. I completely forgot about it. So you probably by now know who Rudy Giuliani is. He's a terrible person. He was once the governor of New York during 9/11. Uh, Huge conservative. And he's Trumpsy. He's also Trump's like personal idiot lawyer. He's Trump's versions of dumb lawyers. Um, oh no, someone's bountying me. How dare they? Bounty them right back. Just gonna assume it's the same person. Movement of his cape is actually really nice. I like it. So anyway, Rudy's at this mall, I guess talking out his ass, doing who knows what. And this guy comes up, touches him on the back, and says, "You're going to kill women." Rudy pretends this guy just punched him in the face. This guy's like, "Oh, it was assault. If I wasn't so sturdy, I could have fallen down and cracked my head open." Notice this guy barely touched Rudy. Biden? I'll just hide here and see if he can find me. And he has the guy actually arrested and taken away, even though he barely touched him. And then the conservative networks and everything are like, "Oh, Rudy under assault by liberal terrorists." That was really ridiculous and funny. Watch them act like that. Of course, Rudy's in big trouble right now, so he's going to try and play victim as much as he can, well, before he might be thrown in jail for the rest of his life if we have a fair justice system. He'd already be there. The fact that he is free and walking around in supermarket systems is quite ridiculous. My target's been poached. But my target was not the one targeting me. There we go. That's good. It's spot right. He has no idea. Eventually he'll run out of the ammo. What is this sticking out? It's just a leaf? I guess it's just a leaf. If justice at all prevails, Trump will go to jail for the rest of his life. His family will be persecuted. Rudy will be there for the rest of whatever life he has to live because he looks like a freaking zombie. And everybody involved that are senators will lose their jobs and be persecuted. Matt Gaetz, Tolbert, Majority Taylor Greene, the guy who opened the doors, they need to lose their jobs and need to be prosecuted for treason and insurrection. hunter too. I need to do my daily sometime before it ends up being too late. Why is all of my stuff turned off here? Set alarm at 11 o'clock. I forgot I had set one for 10:30 yesterday in case I've slept in that late. Oh, do I have any stars? I have 5 now. I can do this one for 3. Yeah, why not? For our next cheapest. So now we have 2 more. We need 6 for the next cheapest. That's going to be her glider. And 7 for the ones after that, and then 9 for her. She may be one of my favorite, like my second favorite skin this season. Because this one's pretty good. I do like this color version of it. Jonesy's okay, it's kind of plain. I'd like to know his story and what he's about. What does it say? Martial arts expert seeking to control the storm. Okay. This one's probably my least favorite just because it's kind of plainish. I like the knight idea. I like the shoulder blades, the armor, and I like this. But it's just kind of a very plain one. So that may... Oh yeah, I like the Nintendo Switch girl's second form with her black gothic dress. I'm not too hot on her second form, it's kind of funky. This may be my second favorite right here. Third favorite, of course first favorite, no one's going to beat Vader. And look, his eyes have that kind of red look to them, just like his masks in the old movies. Oh, right, you can't hear it because I'm in no third-party music mode in here. Okay, continue. Firework flare gun. Oh, by the way, this goes away July 5th, so if you want to get in here and play with the Ripsaw launcher, you got about a week. Oh, that's why they put it in the chest this is final week, or they just... I don't know if it'll be available just in chests for this week, and then it'll go back to just being on the wall, or if it's going to be gone after this week, I don't know. Oh, I forgot to show y'all that we know what our next membership reward's going to be. It looks pretty cool, I like it. But I'm in for anything gothic looking. What is wrong with this shading in one's face? Oh yeah, we need to go down here. Let's see this area real quick. This will be changing, just like the other ones. I don't know exactly what its change is going to be. It looks very colorful. From here, it almost looks like coral. It's like coral castle theme. No, Middle Eastern theme? No, it looks like... No, it is Coral Castle. It's a complete Coral Castle. The Coral Castles we've always saw it were never this big, but look, it's coral. It's a castle. It's Coral Castle. R.I.P. people who don't like Coral Castle. See how long it lasts in here. firing at me. Oh my god, I can make this. Promise you. Distance right angle. There we go. Help me. Interesting place to check out, I guess. What is the range? I'll take that and check this. It highlighted something. I keep hearing it tag things, I'm not seeing what it's tagging. Maybe this just makes that noise now. So just hold the fort down here. Oh, at least I just set that tree on fire. Showdown at Coral Castle. Fishik should be happy his like house area, his home has been moved over here. Never quite explained how they ended up on this side of the island, I guess, but eventually I guess someone made their way through the island. I don't mean the castle, I mean Fish Sticks and relative, because Fish Sticks was originally in a Chapter 1 map, and this is the future of the Chapter 1 map. And that's the end of that. Well, I got a dog. I'm in a cage. Oh, it's a seed. Guys, look, what is that down there? It looks funky. That was weird. Do, however, appreciate the donation. I didn't even hear him sneak up. I guess if I must, I'll take this darn shotgun. Hear anybody else, but I barely heard the other ones. So, I thought I saw red flashes on my bar this way. Nada. Just slurp into the water. Contamination. That was a little like frame rate drop there for some reason. Yes, about the Nindo challenges not winning. You trying to shoot someone from far away with that? Please break this bush, doesn't it? Shoot, I suppose myself. Ow. 1040. Yeah, we'll call it about the end of this battle. I have to go get ready for work anyway. Probably be up earlier tomorrow. I stayed up late last night watching True Blood Tournament. Not with my son, don't worry. Not with that. Nothing new here. I am in top 5, so that might at least push a little towards that. I'll check it at the end when we beat this, or end here either way. Oh, they made it to where it doesn't break bushes anymore. Nice. Exposed you on that side, sir. Go that way. How many people are there? 4? I don't think I'm gonna make it to the end of this one. Where'd he go? I don't know where we're going with this. If this moves up this hill, I might be in trouble because I don't think this hill is... Oh, sort of climbable. The Thor emote. Oh well, second place isn't too bad. I don't think we got very far in our Nindo challenges, unfortunately, this morning, so we didn't have a long time. Let's see if anything popped up with that one. Oh my god, just reset the page, please. Nope. Ipitachi still had 3 badges, which is better than it used to be. Hikaru's still at 5 badges halfway, and Orochimaru is actually 6 badges, 1 past half. We'll continue to do this more likely tomorrow morning. I'll have more to talk about. Today is Tuesday. I keep thinking it's late for some reason. Yeah, so I'll see y'all throughout the week in the mornings most likely, unless I just like really need to sleep in. Really late work week. It's all gonna be unplanned, random. If I show up, I'm gonna be on here. It'll most likely be Fortnite as we're trying to get through these challenges. If I get up early enough, we'll try the other set of challenges. This is actually one of my favorite emotes. Wait. Oh, they do? Okay, so they just go fire when she does that. Even if she's not her human form for some reason. Anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go get up and ready for work. I do have Saturday and Sunday off, so I'll probably have some more time to do morning stuff on those days. But again, the rest of the week's just gonna be kind of random. I apologize for not being there for Chrono Cross yesterday evening. I was just hanging out with fam and watching TV, and I felt like it was a good time to do it up until midnight, and then by then it'd be too late. So Chrono Cross Saturday and Sunday, maybe. Most likely not. It depends on what's going on. I'll let you know by Friday or Thursday what's going on this weekend, but most likely not. Monday is a more likely the chance that we're going to have another chance at Chrono Cross. Weeks are weird. Yeah, that seems like ideal. So the next time we're going to have an evening stream will likely be Monday, unless we have a random day that we can do it all during the weekends. Other than that, I will see y'all tomorrow morning. Y'all have a peaceful day, and I hope y'all have a great one. Peace out, guys. Oh, before we go, because I said I do this and I forgot about it like twice already. Wait, they're not going to show it now. That was weird. Okay, here we go. They're not showing it, but they show it here. So this is our new... Can I check her out? I checked her out earlier. There we go. This is our new character. Now I will notice that in the picture, if you look at her hair, squid tentacles on it. Oh, you know what? That's not her hair. That's her back bling. I assumed that was her hair because it was like an extension of her hair. But never mind. I was like, why aren't there squid tentacles in her hair? Oh my god, I hit the right button. So this is our new gothic lady. Her name is Phaedra. Phaedra? A dark sea witch with a noble power. Part of the Gothic Nautilus set. It's a cool Gothic design. She's got like kind of the summery black wrap on her hips. With the octopus face on it. Almost looks like a Davy Jones face on it. I don't know what that is hanging below it. Chains? Contestants? Who knows? And then this kind of black Gothic swimsuit. Super pale. She looks like she's ready for summer, but someone who doesn't go outside too often. Then she's got netted arms, sort of like stockings on her arms, and some band wraps, and a tattoo on her left hand next to the glove, but I can't really see what it is. It appears to be an octopus. Same thing on her right shoulder. I've actually seen that symbol somewhere before. Same thing under her arm. Lots of tattoos dealing with that. I can't tell what the tattoo on her left shoulder is, but it appears to be like a Kraken taking down a ship or something. Yeah, I know it's 11. I'm taking off. Other than that, she does have a different forms. This form gives her some like it's called shrouded. It's like a shawl or something. I would say it's helped to help black out the sun, but they ain't really covering it with anything that isn't already covered. I'm honestly not a big fan of this version. I don't understand it too much, I guess. It's just not aesthetically pleasing. I'd rather this version. No, there's these, which add netting, which is actually kind of cool looking. So I guess if I run two versions, I'll do one just like that. One like this, maybe, I don't know. And then she comes with backbling Seth, Phaedra's animal familiar from the darkest deep. Just like an octopus, I guess. Very cartoonish looking. Looks like part of the Ink crew, actually. Possibly part of the Ink crew. I wonder if it's related to the Ink crew. That'd be interesting. There's no driftness to it, but it's very black and cartoonish looking. This is her tool, which is a parasol. Look in the shadow wherever you go. It's a pretty cool looking one, and it also happens to be her umbrella ball glider thingy. And then she has this, which is cool looking, and this makes me think again of the Ink set, like maybe she has something to do with ink. And by the look of the oil, I wonder if Chaos has something to do with this. Because I completely forget that Chaos looks like oil ink, so is he part of the ink set? Is he the creator of the ink? Is he the living form of the ink? Who knows? But this shows her, and then above her is like an upside down version, which shows, appears to be made of ink and dripping under her. Usually the, these pictures have something to do with the canon storyline, or these characters' canon. This says I have something new. What do I have something new? What did I get? What's the new? Oh, apparently I saw whatever the new was. Anyway, I will see y'all later. We gotta check that out. Tomorrow morning, I don't think there's anything happening, like, officially on here. We'll continue to play with the new stuff. This will probably go away in July 4th, by the way, unless they plan to do it all the way through July, which I would not mind. I like the fireworks. Tomorrow morning we'll return and do some more Fortnite, most likely. If I don't show up, then we'll look for me the day after. We'll continue on the Nindo challenges. It's a very slow process, but I think if I get up early enough tomorrow morning, we'll instead hop on the island harbor. 2 days from now, the weeklies and the vibings, and of course Snap return. Snap having to do with the weeklies. Oh, I'm sorry, vibing does not return 2 days from now. 2 days from now it's just weekly and Snap. So 2 days from now we'll do return to weeklies, which will probably be running the snaps from here on, since it's no longer just finding stuff. And we'll continue on Island Hopper after that. We'll most likely will not finish this in a day. 6 days from now, the Biting quests come back in. It's almost a whole week from now before we can do a Biting quest, and that will be past the Nindo challenges anyway. So we'll return tomorrow. If it's early enough, we'll go on Island Hopper. If it's not, we'll go straight to Nindo challenges. I may just start on Nindo challenges because we don't have a lot of days on that, I don't think. But technically, I guess I can get that glider separately later on. Nice to have for food. But that is the end of our stream. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out, guys.